Dead Art Studios, painting chat tonight. I've got my family painting that I've been doing for the last couple of months. I'm going to carry on with this again. I've done quite a bit on it since last time I showed it to you. So let's get on, do a bit of painting, enjoy a cup of cocoa and have a little chat. Okay, so since I saw you last time, I've added quite a lot to this painting. I've added a new sort of feature here, which is just kind of lake or pond at the back between the sort of characters, the two taller sort of parent style characters and the two maybe children characters. Put this sort of blue lake surrounded by plants in, and then I've added at the top quite a bit more detail into that background. I wasn't so sure about that because I was wondering whether to keep it soft since it's in the distance, but for whatever reason I've kind of just put it in. So I might do a little bit more on that tonight and then work a little bit on defining maybe this lake slash pond. Let's call it a pond. I think it's too small to be a lake, isn't it? And yeah, we'll just see how we get on. I'm going to start with cadmium yellow tonight, and I've got this little sponge tip thing on a stick that came in all my sponges that I brought for printing and imprinting onto the paintings with, and it came in one of these. I didn't really know that it was going to come with this, but I thought we'd use it. And I'm going to try and do some leaves perhaps up on the top here. We're going to see what happens, and if we don't like it, we're going to just wipe it off and give up on that idea. But I've got this, so we've got this, and I've got cadmium yellow. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that down on the board. Here, we don't need much. And I want to keep it really sort of thin when I dab it into here. So I might dab it and then dab it again onto another part of the board. And then we'll just come up and see what that looks like. Okay, I kind of like it. It's not very leaf shaped though. Let's see if we can get something a bit more shaped like a leaf. Okay, we'll work with that a bit, see what we can get. So I'm just going to dab away and see what happens with it. It's not really showing the shape of a leaf, is it? Let's give it a wipe. And let's try it on the side. And this is kind of the point of painting chat. It's just to talk a bit about the painting and art in general. Maybe a little bit about what's going on in the world. Not really the world, maybe my world. But mainly just to discuss art and chill out a bit and unwind from whatever it is you've been at in the day. Is that working? Not so sure. And I do want to show you the bits that go wrong, as well as the bits where I'm just sort of flying away, like I know exactly what's happening. Could do with being a bit wetter, maybe. I mean, that's a bit better on the side there. Yeah, let's try that a bit more. So I've kind of got it on the side and then just right on the tip. The thing is, I don't want to go over the ones I've just put down because it's kind of smudge it around. But it would be a matter, I think, of doing a few layers of it and then changing directions. But we want to let it kind of dry first before we do that. Now, this really lends itself to going in the direction of whichever hand you're using. I'm using my left hand. It could be quite difficult to go the other way, to the point where I might be tempted to turn the painting upside down. Right. I like the first ones. Not so sure this one's going too well either. But I do like the idea of adding some yellow, some foliage up at the top. and just change the blue. And there is a sort of blurred yellow in the background from when I was using my fingers anyway, so I think it would be helpful to have some more defined yellow in. Maybe not so much, maybe it's kind of autumn and a lot of the leaves have fell off. I don't know. We shall see. Okay. I just don't know. Have a sip of cocoa. I think I'm going to leave that for now. And maybe look at a different way of getting the leaves in. Don't mind if that bit sticks about because I quite like that. And then what I'm going to do is with the rest of the yellow, we've got this background horizon line, and I might try dabbing it in there instead and see what we get right on the tip. That could be better. Could be better. And I've been thinking about styles of painting. I've been reading up a little bit. I was thinking about doing some kind of art history on the channel using the Art Wiki website, which I really like and think's quite interesting. But while I was sort of doing some research for that, I did start to think about what style of painting this might be. And I kind of have been classing myself as sort of doing expressionism and kind of abstract expressionism as well, to a degree, with definitely, well, maybe earlier on. I have found that now a lot more of my recent paintings on paper and stuff have had a bit more of an actual definable landscape to them. But I'm starting to think that this one might be more in the realms of symbolism. Because with expressionism, you're more, as far as I can understand it, you're expressing yourself and your own personal feelings through the paint. So the way the paint's put down and the movement and the brightness and the shade and everything like that indicates the sort of mood and expressing yourself through the painting. Whereas this has a bit more story to it. So I am thinking it might be more in the area of symbolism, because it's not real, as you can tell, but I think it is trying to tell a story of sorts and evoke some kind of, I mean the characters, they almost are symbolic, aren't they, of humanoid type folk. Can't really say humanoid type people, can you? Because you're kind of saying the same word twice and the same meaning twice. I suppose that's the same with folk as well. So anyway, I was just wondering, do you guys think about what kind of art that you do? I think I'm quite an automatic kind of painter. I don't plan out very much, and this journey into YouTube has made me stop and think about that a bit. And I think I really do like the idea of automatic and intuitive art, and that it just comes straight out without too much planning and structure. But I do wonder if there might be some benefit to trying to attach something a bit more verbal and defined to that as to what I'm trying to achieve. Because I've always been like, oh, I'm just painting. I've not got any reason that I'm doing it. But I've been doing it for so long now, in different forms, art at least, that it doesn't make sense that I'm just doing it for no reason. I've got to be doing it for some reason for this long. And you know, I have been interested in being an artist for a long time now, and it always eluded me earlier on in life as I pursued other goals, especially in the sciences, which I love as well. And I kind of thought, oh, you know, I did some art, but I thought, well, you've got to be one or the other. Well, I've done that bit, and now I'm here to do the art bit. And if it's been around for so long, what am I at least saying to myself? That is the question. In this one, I'm saying there's a lot of lines, there's a lot of horizontals, very defined, and there's a lot of vertical as well. In fact, I think that's quite interesting about this painting, how I've managed to get so much vertical and so much horizontal, and it kind of works in compositional terms, even if you don't like the style in of itself. I think it does homogenise quite well overall and fit together. And these characters are going to be finished in a stronger red and orange. They've been painted over and messed around with a lot as I've sort of gone on and done the background to get the background nice and tight into the characters so that it's coherent. And I am going to go over, I might even go and get myself a special tube of paint just so I can really slap an entire tube of red onto it. I don't know what red I've got. I've got cadmium red, but maybe there's a slightly more exotic red out there for me at the art shop. So we'll definitely look into that. Okay, I do quite like this yellow line now. And as I've done it, I've got a little bit more skilled, I think, with the use of this. Never picked it up until now. I literally just pressed record. Quite bold, maybe. Do people practice before making videos and things? I certainly do not, for whatever reason or lack of. Now, coming to the end of that, I think now I can just kind of splodge in any slight amounts of undry paint. I mean, these acrylics dry super fast, so anything that is a bit wet is just going to create a bit more haze and make it less defined. That bit up there is not amazing, but I'm sat at a bit of funny angle as well, so when I stand it up and look at it from a distance, I can see if I need to change that. Normally I'd give this a wash, but I'm just going to put it to one side and carry on painting for the moment. So what should we do next, folks? That is a question, isn't it? Okay, so we've got some ultramarine came out pretty much straight away. Is there anywhere where I want to put ultramarine? I do think I want some more around the base of the pond here, and maybe shading into the reed lines there. So let's pour a strip of that out. I normally have my little yogurt pots, don't I? But I've forgotten them, and I just want to get on with it, so I'm not going to go and get them. It's been another long day. Everybody knows about long days, though, don't they? So it's not like it's unique to me. Okay. Chase it down a bit. I'm not sure what I think to that, but we shall proceed with it. Scratch that a bit. Maybe that works better, breaking it up a bit and provides a sort of... I want the idea of a background shade, but that just looked more like blue. Grass. Shards. Do you have a shard of grass? Not really, do you? Have a shard of glass. So this is a blade of grass, I suppose, isn't it? And I suppose I'll just talk briefly about the channel. It's growing still mainly off of my shorts, which is fine. I don't expect to be getting loads of views on these yet. I've only been doing it a couple of weeks, but anybody who has passed by or is passing by or who's coming back, then thank you for stopping in, and I hope I'm providing you some kind of value in some way, whatever that might be. And I am going to keep going, so you know, if you want to say anything, suggest anything, I am open to suggestions. Sometimes when you get them though, first you're like, no, why? But then normally after a few days, you know, even if someone says something horrible, which I'm not suggesting you do, you do kind of think, well, is there something to be said for it? And then maybe you think, no, there isn't. But that's, in a way, that's helpful. Reinforces whatever it is you believe yourself to be. Or stand for. Well, that's got a bit splodgy there, so let's scrape that down. Yes, so is this symbolism? If you happen to be an expert in art history, let me know. Where does it all cross over as well? Like, and who decides? Because I'm pretty sure most of the artists are not. I mean, Picasso was definitely talking about cubism and anism, and I think there was a whole period of time where people were sort of classifying themselves as movements. It must have been quite interesting, sort of turning up to a cafe or a restaurant or a bar, meeting some people, you know, not online, in real life, and having a chat and saying you're starting a movement and your painting's going to be attached to some kind of political idea or some philosophical sort of thinking. Not really happening now, is it? Maybe it is, and I just don't know about it. I always think that I've heard of zines. I've never seen a zine. Some people talk about zines. Maybe that's where it's happening. I don't know. Time's gone by. I think that's partially where my name, Dead Art Studios, comes from. The idea that that's all dead, and an idea that I kind of wanted to, I like the idea of being in that time and place, and that is kind of dead. In that sense, in the sense of movements and things, I think art is kind of dead because it's kind of been done, hasn't it? And we shouldn't stop making pieces of art because of a lot being done. But you need to be kind of real about where we are. I think art's seen much more, apart from by maybe some academics. I think it's seen far more on the truly face value, and it kind of, I think people do allow it to suggest things to them and to emote them. But I don't know if art's having the same impact. It's like when Picasso did Guernica, and I mean, history books say it caused a big stir and such, and then the Impressionists at the Salon and everything like this, and maybe the Impressionists didn't go to the Salon. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing everything up, but you get the idea. Now, it's all, if you want to publicize, like the obvious route to go is social media, isn't it, and YouTube, but are there movements? I don't know. I don't feel part of one. And I'm not sure yet if anything that I've painted is saying so much as to be, this is a movement. I'm not sure I've added a great deal in terms of value to the bottom of this painting, though, in that blue that I've added, but let's do some more scratching. Thin it out, and even if you think you've not made a big difference, it does add up. And when this video is finished, I'm going to do half an hour today. I've been throwing a few 1 hour videos out, and I think at this stage early on in the channel it's probably too much. If people are just dipping in and discovering what's going on here, I think an hour is probably overwhelming. So we'll do 30 today, and afterwards I'll carry on and I'll do some, extensive scratching again to bring out some of the layers below. And there might be some, is it ASMR, AMSR, which way around is it? There might be some value in terms of, nice, gentle sounds relaxing you. But can't be too much fun to listen to half an hour of me scraping a piece of plywood with paint on it. Maybe, who knows, who am I to say? Right, okay, that bit's a bit Right, since we're near the end of my prescribed half hour, let's throw some actual colour on as a swan song. Rifle through all my paints. Let's get the cadmium orange out. Put a strip at the bottom here. Look at that, it's just super orangey. Do like it. Do like orange. Don't know, it's an unusual colour, isn't it? Who's saying their favourite colour is orange? Oh, my favourite colour is orange. Don't hear it much. Just using the edge of the blade and pulling down. Collect another bead up. Go next to it. Try not to go into the blue at the top. And pull it down. Another one. The bumps and undulations in the painting below are going to affect where the paint goes. And if it's too heavy, like just up here, I can scrape it. That was too heavy, wasn't it? On this side here, a bit more. I've got some good ideas for videos in the future. I'm super interested in the outdoors and nature, and I've done a couple of videos where I've been out with my camera, but I don't think it really fits in with the channel. So I'm coming up with ideas to blend together the art and painting with the going out into nature, because it is nature that inspires me. It just means taking a slightly different tact than taking my camera out and doing basically bird watching. A bit more there. Okay, I'm going to sit and scratch away at these bits of paint that I've just put down. When will it be finished? I don't know. This bit of white down here, that needs to go, I think. I was thinking like putting some like Monet, like lilies in there, but that might be... no, it might happen. This up here is probably going to get scratched a bit, and this orange will get scratched a bit. And then the question is the leaves at the top, and whether to get an actual paintbrush out as well. All questions for next time, eh? I will probably work on it by myself as well, to just make progress. And I might show you something else on Paint and Chat next time, we'll see. But for now, I wish you the best possible week ahead. And just like good vibes, really. See you later.